Hello, friends, and welcome to our Sunday streaming services. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you're with us on Zoom, hi, drop a hello in the chat. And if this is your first time visiting us, head on over to our guest book at oakcliffuu.org/guest. Today's sermon is Into the Unknown with Renée Brill. We also have a special message from our treasurer, Paul Fucile, today, so stick around for that. He'll be kicking off our pledge drive. This year's extra important. If you haven't heard, we got approved for a very fancy grant from Intuck. If you want more information on that, check out our e-blast, but it's very exciting. And so this year, our pledge drive is very important. We would like to get ourselves a minister. All right, announcements. We have reserved 2 tables at New Vita's Craft Fair on November 13th. If you're interested in selling your art with us, let us know. We'll take 20%, you get the rest. You get to sell your stuff, you get to help your church. It's a win-win, good times. If you are interested in joining us on that, contact fundraisers at oakcliffuu.org. There is a great virtual workshop coming up for anyone interested in being a greeter when we return, or just, being more welcoming to new guests who visit our church. This is about being more inclusive and maybe not saying the wrong thing by accident, purely unintentional, but just being much more welcoming and much more inviting and much more inclusive. So if you are interested in that, it is called Widening the Welcome, and it's November 6th from 10 to 12 and from 2 to 4. So contact Beth at president@oakcliffuu.org. Workday Wednesdays are back. Woohoo! Join us any Wednesday and every Wednesday at 5 o'clock to help spruce up our campus, do some little repairs and the such. Super fun with your friends. This week is extra important, so join us this week because we are getting ready for the Haunted Forest, which is next week. And there is still time to volunteer for that. We have some more positions that still need to be filled. So if you can help out, one night only, Saturday, October 30th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. We would love, well, that's when the event is. We can use your help before and after that as well for setup and cleanup. You want to scare people, we can do that. You want to walk around with people, we can do that. Whatever you want to help with, just go to our Sign Up Genius. And if you can't do any of that, if you've already got plans that night, just share the event with your friends. Share on social media, share with your family, your friends, everybody you know. Tell them it is amazing and super duper fun. All right, make sure to check out the e-blast this week for everything UUCOC. As I mentioned, we have news in there about finding a minister and so much more because we are always very, very busy. We also have meeting times and links and everything that you need to keep up with our news. Today is Sunday, so don't forget to join us for Talkback at 11:15 and then Adult RE at 1 o'clock. And then, if that's not enough for you, we are on Discord all week long, so jump on there, say hi, join the conversation, enjoy. There are no member anniversaries this week, but that's okay. We have some really good ones coming up, and it was my birthday this week, so we can all take a moment and appreciate me. If you want to celebrate something, right? Anyway, to me, happy Sunday, and to all of you, a very happy Sunday.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff. Thank you for having the curiosity and the courage to join us. We welcome you, whoever you are, whatever spiritual tradition, gender, age, race, sexual orientation, or background you may bring to our community. We hope you will find here comfort, connection, challenge, respect, and above all, love.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of love, compassion, and forgiveness.
Que esta luz que ahora encendemos nos inspire a usar nuestros dones y poderes para sanar y no para herir, para ayudar y no para impedir, para bendecir y no para maldecir, para servirte a ti, espíritu de amor, compasión y perdón.
Embracing the Unexpected by Christa, Flanagan. What if everything always went according to plan? At first, we might accomplish more of what we think we need to accomplish, and it might seem less stressful at first being able to anticipate what happens next. But after a certain amount of time, and that amount would vary person to person, the once comfortable predictability would become less comfortable and, well, boring. If we always know what happens next, we lose the joy of surprise, serendipitous experiences, and the excitement that comes from anticipating the unknown. Friends, let us gather with open, curious hearts, ready to explore the unpredictable, learn from its wisdom, and embrace its beauty.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love that rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love that rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance and service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together.
And now in Spanish. Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honoramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio a entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y acepción, así que hacemos pacto.
We share our sorrow with one another, believing that a sorrow shared is a sorrow halved. Today, we also hold in our hearts the shared grief of our hurting planet. At this time, we invite you to publicly post your sorrows and prayer requests to our Zoom chat or send those to our Facebook Messenger.
When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, believing that a shared joy is a joy doubled. Today, we take special time to celebrate our connection to all life everywhere. Please share your joys publicly in the Zoom chat or send those to our Facebook Messenger or speak those aloud.
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirs of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice, roots hold me close, set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning. This morning and right now in my own life, I am about to do a brave and terrifying thing. And I'm not sure if I am more excited than I am afraid of everything falling apart and going wrong. That seems to be a feeling that I've carried with me over the last 2 or so years. Is the other foot going to drop, or will everything be okay? I feel like I've been sitting in this moment of apprehension, of waiting to see what will come for a long, long time. And I think I'm tired of waiting for it. Now, I know I'm not alone in this feeling. So many people right now are taking brave steps to change their lives. Over the last few months, record numbers of Americans have quit their jobs and gone looking for something new, a new career, a new business of their own, or even a retirement, looking to change their lives for the better, record-breaking month after record-breaking month. Now, in order to take this kind of leap of faith, it takes a kind of optimism, actually. The belief that you can do an action and have good things come to you when you seek to change your life. That feeling of excitement and also fear at the precipice of something new, of trying some new brave thing, are really the same, well, maybe two sides of the same coin, the two sides of the same adrenaline response, the same hormonal chemical that your body releases when it senses fear or danger, that makes your heart pound, that makes your mind feel like it's going 1,000,000 miles a minute. It widens your pupils. It makes you feel like you are absolutely present in that moment, making decisions of whether you need to fear for your life or what your next action will be. That is the fearful adrenaline response that we're familiar with, but many people seek out this adrenaline response as excitement. That's why people like going real fast or jumping out of planes. It's that feeling of adrenaline rush that is exciting. In some ways, the difference between being excited and being fearful are really just a matter of perspective. If we're optimistic, then we're expecting the unknown to carry in it and to hold in it new possibilities for things going better, for changes that we need. And when we are fearful, we are expecting the unknown to hold with it some new unforeseen catastrophe. Now, this morning, I want to tell you a story about a leap of faith that I took that had some interesting outcomes. I'd like you to think about leaps of faith that you have taken, or maybe you have not yet taken. Maybe you have waited so long of a time to take them. Now is a good time to think about what the difference is between imagining this as an adventure or imagining this as the continuation of some tragedy. Many of you know that not so long ago, I took a vacation trip to my favorite place in the world, in upstate New York, a place called Mud Lake with my husband and our friends. And we got to spend a week up there enjoying each other's company and time. In fact, I love this place so much that some of you might have heard me telling stories about it being my personal, literal heaven on earth. This mythological place that contains the love of God and the wisdom of my ancestors. But what I haven't told you is that Mud Lake, this place that we go make pilgrimage to, actually has its own mythology to it. Now, the mythology of Mud Lake is this: that whatever is wrong with you, however you're feeling, go jump in the lake. And the lake is a cure-all. If you had slept maybe not so much last night, go jump in the lake and you will feel better. If you are feeling grouchy, go jump in the lake. If you have a head cold, go jump in the lake. Anything that is wrong with you, go jump in the lake. It is the cure-all of our vacation, the solution to every bad mood and the solution to every sniffle. Now, that's quite an unbelievable mythology to live up to, but it is one that we stand by, at least while we can still go jump in the lake. This last trip, we drove like we normally do 2 hours. I'm sorry, not 2 hours, but 2 whole days to upstate New York. When we got there, I was so elated and glad to be in my favorite place and out of being stuck in the car that I could not wait to do what I had been waiting 2 days to do, which was to go jump in the lake. So while my friends tried unsuccessfully, as we could see, to move their bus from its current parking place into a new place, I unloaded my gear, set up my room, and put on my swimsuit to go jump in the lake. Convinced and sure and excited that I was going to be the first one to jump into Mud Lake for the season. So out I went, past everyone else who is still gathering and moving and trying to get this bus unstuck from its current location. It is very hard to move a bus with just manpower. I'm not sure if you know, but it was worth the effort for sure. And so I moved past them and I took my dog out and I set him down on the dock of the lake and I got ready to jump out. And I stood there, and for a moment I thought, my husband and his friends go fishing from this dock. In fact, I'm sure quite a lot of people go fishing from this dock, and I'm not wearing water shoes. I wonder if I should actually jump right in right now, or if I should go put my shoes back on or my sandals back on. And if you have heard me tell before, you know that in addition to being sort of adventurous, I also have an anxiety disorder. So I am kind of used to listening to my worries and thinking, that's maybe not actually as much of a risk as I think that it is right now. And I don't really need to put much attention into that particular risk. After all, a fishing hook, how much damage can that do? It's not like it's going to ruin my whole vacation. It's not like I'm going to go to the hospital over a fishing hook stuck. I can probably cut just about anything out my own self and get on with the rest of my day. And if you know how reluctant I am to go to the hospital, you'll believe that I have every intention of doing that. So I took that great big jump and I jumped full into the lake and I went down and I touched the water and I touched the bottom of the lake and the soft sand. And as I came back up, I felt, in addition to the refreshing, healing, beautiful, cool, crisp water, just the tiniest little bit of a pinch in my foot. And I thought to myself, ha 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 ha, how ironic. I might have just gotten a fishing hook stuck in my foot after thinking to myself, well, that's not really actually that big of a risk right now. And so I reached down under the water and I touched my foot. And I didn't really find anything I was expecting, but it also didn't quite feel right in that moment. And I picked my foot out close enough to the surface of the water that I could see it. And I was very quickly greeted with what I would call a hospital-sized injury on my foot. It was cut open really quite badly in a no arguing, we're about to go to the hospital kind of way. It didn't really hurt very bad, but that is for sure where we were going. And in that moment, all I could do was laugh out loud hysterically. I had thought to myself, what's the worst that could happen? And was wrong. Worse than I had imagined had happened. The irony of it was funny. And I could imagine my ancestors who love telling stories of bravery and often misfortune, laughing and telling and enjoying a story like this. I'd spent 2 days in the car, and within 30 minutes, my whole vacation was ruined. No more swimming for me. Well, as I was laughing, I was calling out to the shore that we were going to go to the hospital. Get ready. We're on the way. We're going to the hospital. And in my laughter, my friends initially thought that I was kidding. We're not going to the hospital. Until, of course, they saw the hospital-sized injury that I was dragging back to shore. And once that happened, things started moving very quickly. My friends got me out of the water. My husband prepared my service dog to come with me to the hospital. They cinched up and bandaged my foot so that I was no longer bleeding. They gave directions to the hospital, and we were well on our way. At the hospital, it turns out that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was on the outside. It still didn't hurt at all, and I could still wiggle all of my toes. This was just a flesh wound, if somewhat a scary flesh wound at that. Well, after my stitches and getting back to the cabin that we all shared together, we laughed and told jokes. And for the rest of the week, anytime anybody had a complaint about anything, the response was, well, do you need stitches about it? Well, if not, it's probably not that big of a problem. And we had actually a beautiful week. I had a beautiful week. I was happy. I was content with my friends. So in a way, the worst, or even the worst that I thought could happen, happened, and I was still okay. I was still really happy and content. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I think this is true. I was still with people I loved. And in that moment, I actually felt very strong, very capable. Actually, I do know what to do in an emergency. Actually, my friends do know how to take care of me. Actually, I do have people that I can rely on, that I can trust, that I can turn to. I am not alone when something bad happens. I've chosen good companions. That is a beautifully comforting and healing feeling. Over the next week, I actually watched my own injury knit itself back together. And I spent a fair amount of time poking at it because it didn't hurt the whole time. That probably bothered my companions more than it bothered me, but there was something really healing and renewing to watch my body heal itself from an injury that really had me going so much so early. I have been injured in similar ways before and not been able to see that kind of progress, not been able to get to medical care, not been able to have access to the things that I needed to be happy and healthy afterwards. And this, in some ways, felt like a redo, an opportunity to feel stronger in my skin, in my relationships, and in who I am. In some ways, for me, the myth of Mud Lake is still fully intact. Also, I think that it is mine, because if I bled on it, I think that's mine. If I give a blood sacrifice to the lake, I think the lake is mine. Nobody is going to convince me otherwise at this point. But I have this lesson for myself that sometimes in doing brave things, that is what it takes to feel actually strong. It is in that risk that I feel my own power to heal, to change, and to do. And when I came back home from this experience, it occurred to me that I had had what everyone else would call a very bad start to my vacation. And yet, it was still some of the happiest I had been since the last time I'd been to Mud Lake. And I thought to myself, well, if I can be that happy with this giant old gash in my foot, I think I'm doing something wrong back here at home. And that one leap of faith that made me feel strong is leading to new and other leaps of faith. How I can change my life and hopefully the lives of people around me. There are some things I've been thinking about doing for a long, long time, probably since I graduated from college. And I haven't ever done them because they didn't feel safe. They felt too risky. Risking my own health care, risking financial stability, risking my credit score, risking too much. They felt risky and too hard for me to do by myself, especially when I know how scatterbrained I am, far more than most of the people who have to work with me on a regular basis. They always felt too hard. But now, especially after the last 2 years, I feel like it's standing still that is the risk. Doing the same thing we've all been doing, polluting the same way we've all been polluting, being in community in the same way we've all been. Not in our own congregation, although that might also be true, but in our world and in our community outside of our church doors. I feel like I've been waiting for someone else to lead the way into the future that I am longing for. And after the last couple of years, I'm done with waiting. I'm feeling much stronger. I'm feeling stronger not only because I know that I am a person that does brave things and that can keep cool even when bleeding quite a lot. I also know that I have chosen good companions and good friends, and that there are so many people that I can reach out to and have trust and faith that together we will get through this. I want to invite you to think of your own dreams. What crossroads are you standing at? When have you done hard things before? When have you done things that felt impossible? What are you risking by trying and jumping? And what are you risking by standing still? There is no avoiding risk. There's only planning for it. There's only having good companions. There is risk in doing nothing as much as there can be risk in doing something. It is only our own illusion that standing still is safer than the other. What are you waiting for before you go ahead and jump? Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let his dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
All right. Good morning, UUCOC family. I'm Paul, your Board of Trustees treasurer. And I'm excited to say it's that time of year again. Pledge drive time, or Create and Thrive drive. For many, the repercussions of the pandemic have hit hard and for a lot longer than we expected. We're still in virtual church, so there's that. But I have to tell you, though, UUCOC, we've got moxie, we've got grit, we've got tenacity, and some hard-won persistence. We've done a splendid job at coming together despite the circumstances and prevailed nearly better than we have in years past. A quick look at our accomplishment. Thanks to Rita Jackson and her efforts to compile it all together for me. I used some of her words too, so tip of the hat, Rita. Volunteers are the lifeblood of our church. Without the work of our volunteers, our church simply could not exist. Volunteers get their hands in the muck of what it is to create and thrive in the UUCOC community. So I have to say a big shout out to some of our unsung heroes. The worship team. We literally would not be here right now without you. The Sacred Spaces crew. We're not at the church, but we know you're keeping it beautiful. Jim Clipp and the Endowment Committee for keeping our investments secure and profitable. Renovations. The repairs team for keeping those renovations on track. Super important. And there's so many more that I really like it. I had to edit down considerably for time. So let me just move on. But you will find those in your pledge packet. Now, it's not just who we are, but it's what we do that creates a bigger and brighter future for our thriving UUCOC community. We prepared and delivered meals this year, shared in the joys and sorrows of the community by sending out greeting cards with a personal note for the occasion. We've invested in the transparency for social justice through widening the circle of concern. And we are honored to host the Back to School donation box for Family Compass, whose mission is to prevent child abuse through community education and parenting classes. And thanks to the fundraising team, we participated in the Craft Cycle Dallas pop-up event. I believe that was the inaugural event, and we'll soon host the one-day only special event of the Haunted Forest. And these, again, are just to name a small few of the big efforts that keep our community creating and thriving. And guess what? Next year, we want to do even bigger and better. We, your Board of Trustees, myself and all of us, want to co-create with you a growing and transparent, thriving UUCOC community. And these are some of the goals that we think will get us there. We look forward to seeing a fundraiser once every quarter. We will at least once. We want to expand the impact of widening the circle of concern for greater transparency as a social justice driven community. We want to see the OWL program and other educational programs serve our youth. We want to see the financial and personnel resources come through to hold the first social justice summer camp program. With your help and the $60,000 INTUC grant, we want to hire a contract minister at a living wage so we can prepare our church for a long-term settled minister. All of this is only possible with the generous help from you. Your talent, we know you got it. Don't hide. Your time, I know that's a little more sparse, but we know you can do it. And your treasure, of course. We all can be co-creators, and we can see all of this become reality. And UUCOC can be a beacon of hope in what feels like a tragic time. As I speak right now, we are putting the finishing touches on the pledge packet, but they will be in your inbox ASAP. If it's not in your inbox on the day of the broadcast, I will personally submit a video to the UUCOC Talkback group as a reminder that it is in your inbox and answer any questions that I think might come up. Remember, we are co-creators, UUCOC. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to your donation packets. Till next time.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and hope. For we are now the keepers of the dream. To make an offering or your pledge, please go to oakcliffuu.org/donate and follow the links.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy.
We receive Fragments of Holiness by Sarah York. We receive fragments of holiness, glimpses of eternity, brief moments of insight. Let us gather them up for the precious gifts that they are, and, renewed by their grace, move boldly into the unknown.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now in Spanish. Encendimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevamos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.